So this place used to be factories for making fishery can?
Yes, for canning the fish.
For canning. Until 1978? Until when?
We actually stopped canning salmon in the 1930s because of the Great Depression.
Great Depression.
And then afterwards, the cannery during the Second World War, we would, instead of canning salmon, we would can herring. So you would mix that in tomato sauce and then send it out to the troops overseas. And we stopped doing that once the war ended. And then later on, we used the cannery as a reduction plant. So we would take the herring and reduce it into fish oil and fish meal. So this is actually a new exhibit on sustainability. So at the end of the tour, you can actually come here and have a look at it.
Yes, yes.
It's more of self-guided. It's going to go up right over there.
Okay. Very interesting. This place is so-called Fisherman's Wharf?
Yeah, so it's actually an active fishing harbor.
A fisherman's harbor.
So as I mentioned earlier, the cannery was built in 1894, and we stopped canning salmon in 1930 because of the Great Depression. And this was actually a great place to build a cannery since you're located right off the Fraser River. And the Fraser River has some of the world's largest salmon runs. So if you look outside, you can see the Steveston Harbor, and that is the largest Canadian commercial harbor. Fishing harbor, we have over 600 boats in there at some point during the year. So as you can imagine, fishing was very important for the economy here in Steveston. During the off-season, sorry about that, during the off-season the population would be around 400. However, during the fishing season it would go up to 6,000.
6,000. So many people coming from...
Yeah, a lot of people came because of the fish, because of the canneries. And the typical canning season was from May to October.
May to October. So just started now. It's a high season now.
So peaking in July and August. And so at that time we had 15 canneries in Steveston and well over 200 in BC. And today we only have 4 canneries left in BC. So we have one in Vancouver, one in Richmond, one in Port Hardy, and the other one in Prince Rupert. And we do not have any operating canneries in Steveston.
No, Steveston. No.
And so this would be the receiving floor, and back in the early 1900s, you would need to use this stick to unload the fish off the boat onto the receiving floor. So if you have a look at the photo right over here, you can see that the men are using the stick to unload the fish off the boat onto the receiving floor. And we have a lovely photo right behind you over there. Once again, you can see how the man is using the stick to pick up the fish.
These are all salmon?
Yes. We would
call this salmon?
Yeah. So we used to, actually in this can, we would can predominantly sockeye salmon. And we would pick the fish up by the gills because you did not want to damage the flesh. That would be the part of fish that you would be selling and earning your money from. And then in the 1930s, they started using a fish elevator like the one here in the photo. And if you look straight ahead, that gray inclined plane right over there, that's the fish elevator.
That's a fish elevator.
So that actually would be located outside to bring the fish inside the can. And so what you would also have to do is separate the fish based on the size and the type of salmon. So we had the different bins for the different sizes and the different types of salmon. So the next thing you would have to do was weigh the fish and pay the fishermen. So if we actually go down right over there, we can talk about that.
Fisherman, this factory man, talk about the price.
Yes. So back in 1952, sockeye was worth around 25 cents a pound.
25 cents for pound?
Yes.
1 pound means around 0.5 kilograms.
2.2 pounds.
1 pound equal to 2 pounds equal to
2.2 or is it 22.2? I was confused.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was confused between,
Yeah.
And so coho 13 cents per pound, and pink 7.5. Now, do you know why sockeye would be more expensive?
No, I cannot imagine. Why?
Because it tastes better.
Taste is better.
And also because it's richer in oil, so that's why it would be more expensive. So if you want, you can actually come up over here and find out how much you would be worth if you were a sockeye salmon back in 1952. You can sit or you can stand on it, whichever you prefer. Okay, so let's see. For sockeye, $45. And for pink, only $13.
Pink
So as you can see, there's a huge price difference between the two types.
What's this? Sake, coho, and pink.
So
those are salmon, but different kinds.
But you have different types of salmon, just like you have different breeds of dogs. So the sockeye was the most sought after because it was the most expensive. So most people actually prefer to eat sockeye salmon.
How about wild salmon? I ate wild salmon yesterday. Wild salmon is a sockeye? No.
Do you know if it was sockeye salmon or?
No, I have no idea.
So yeah, next time you go, you might want to ask.
Ask them.
Which kind of salmon you're eating.
Okay.
Because there is a difference in taste between between them. And then if you have a look right over here, these are some of the hand signals they would be using in the cannery. So for sockeye, you would go like this: sock-eye.
Sockeye.
C for coho. Pink. Also have back. And then for steelhead, you would tap yourself on the head. Now they would need to use hand signals for two reasons. One, it was very loud in here. We had 3 canning lines and roughly 120 workers per canning line. So it was very loud in here. And number 2, we had many workers from different countries working in the canneries. So, we had many Japanese, Chinese, First Nations workers as well, and European workers as well. So you would need to use hand signals to communicate between the different groups.
So this is a communication sign among the people working.
So if you wanted to let the person down by the labeling machine know that now we've changed the labels from sockeye to pink, you couldn't always scream pink salmon. You would have to show them the signal. And so, have you ever cleaned a fish before?
Cleaned?
Yeah.
Cleaned means, cut, no?
Yeah, remove the head, the tail.
Not much.
No?
No, but some experience I have one.
Some?
Yeah, some, but very some.
And how long would it take you?
Maybe one hour, less than 1 hour.
1 hour, okay.
Yeah.
Less than 1 hour. Okay, so we're going to go right over here and talk about the men who are responsible.
But they have to take off the rope. It takes time.
Yes, it does. So here in the cannery, we had Chinese men who were responsible of removing the head, the tail, the guts, and the fins of the fish. So one Chinese butcher could process 4 to 5 fish in a minute. So basically, he would remove the head, the tail, the guts, and the fins. So 4 to 5 fish every single minute. And if you have a look right over here, you can see some of the knives that the Chinese men would be using. And we used to nickname them the singing knives since they would go so fast and it sounded as if the knives were singing.
Just they cut it.
Yeah. And so the Chinese men initially came to Canada to build the Trans-Canada Railway. And once that was completed in 1885, they found jobs working here at the canneries. However, here in Canada, we had something known as the Chinese head tax. So basically, anyone from China who wanted to work here in the country had to pay a fixed fee. And in 1886, the head tax was roughly $10 per person.
$10 a year?
Just to come in, yeah.
Every year he has to pay?
Just one
time.
Like, it's like an admission ticket, so just to come into the country, $10 per person.
But at that time, very expensive.
Exactly. And that was in 1886, it was $10. But then in 1904, it went up to $500. And back in 1904, as you mentioned earlier, that's quite a bit of money. That was your 1-year income. So that was a very good way to discourage any further Chinese immigration from taking place. And there was a time in the 1920s when the Canadian government banned Chinese immigration altogether. And so what happened is that this machine over here in the early 1900s replaced the Chinese men. And this machine is known as the iron butcher. So what would happen is that the fish would come right over here,
うん。
and the head would be removed.
そう。
The person working here
yeah.
feed the fish into the machine, belly side up, and then right over here you can see
うん。
they would remove the fins.
おー。はいはい。
And if we follow the fish, you'll notice that right over here we have a saw-like structure. Basically, you want to cut the fish open just like that.
うん。
And then all the way here at the end, we have a brush
おー。
to remove the guts.
あ、ガッツね。
And then you would have another blade to remove the tail. So this machine could process 60 to 80 fish
60 to 80 fish 1 minute.
in 1 minute.
Oh,
So
very
one
fast.
fish every single second.
Mm-mm.
Now the Chinese men were fast, however this machine here was faster.
うん。
And if you have a look at the photo right behind me over here, what do you notice the man is wearing?
Wearing a kind of a rubber coat. Or
Like a raincoat.
Raincoat.
Actually. Yeah, because as you can see, the machine is open, so basically all the blood, all the guts would be coming straight out at you. And it was a very messy job. And so right over here on the floor, you had a nice pile of fish guts. So instead of using the fish guts and the fish heads as fertilizer, what they would do is they would take all the fish guts and dump them back into the water.
うん。
And a problem with doing that is that the people living nearby would be using that water, drinking that water.
ああ、polluted ね。Water is polluted.
And a lot of people got sick because of that. However, they noticed that many of the Chinese workers did not get sick, and that's because they would boil their water for tea.
うん。Chinese habits ね。They drink tea with a boiled water.
Yes. So that's why it would kill some of the bacteria.
うん。
And so this machine was invented in the early 1900s, in 1905, and it was invented by a Canadian, E.A. Smith.
うん。Activated by motor.
This is all actually powered by steam.
あ、steam ね。steam engine が connected to this ね。
So all these machines would be powered by steam.
うん。
And so what would happen is that your fish, goes around like that,
うんうん。
and then it comes out right over here at the bottom,
うん。
and then it continues on to our next station.
おー。
So why don't we go have a look?
うん。いやいや。
And so right over here we have the sliming table, and the women working at this station were known as slimers. And their job was to clean the fish and remove anything that the butcher may have missed, any blood vessels, any fish scales. Now, as you can imagine, this was a very difficult job.
うん。
It was very cold in this part of the cannery. That gate would be open for the entire day, so very cold in here. You would be standing with your hands underneath cold water for 12 to 14 hours a day. And that would be cold, dirty water pumped from below.
うん。